everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another house building video. So I've tested this build already on Twitter because I'm so excited to share this one. This is La Vista Expensivaa, and yeah, it's an extra name. I know, I couldn't not do it because I normally don't go in with that much of an idea of building a home, but this time I had like a couple of things that I wanted to add to this build, and I did it. Sometimes it was a struggle, you will see it throughout the build, but I hope you guys like it. So my idea was to make a very modern build, but I wanted to use glass roofing because I don't normally use it that much. But I also wanted to do a loft area because I see so many simmers do lovely loft areas, and I simply almost never do it. I may have done it one or twice before. I'm not even sure if it's on my channel, but I'm not that well at doing it and doing things wrong, and my build gets weirded up, and yeah, that's normally not the way I go. So the thing that I always do with modern builds is mostly work with columns, because modern builds mostly tend to have white, black, maybe dark woods and bricks. That's basically my idea of a modern home. So that's why I always tend to, like, how would you say that? Sort of cut off some edges with the columns so you know where maybe an additional part is built or anything. So yeah, what I always like to do is, as you can see here, I work with columns to and like move objects on and hire them up and everything to make your way up to the actual end of the roof, because normally when you do those columns they don't go to the tip of the roof, and I think that's very ugly. And sometimes with the edges around your room, if you know what I mean, you can use that and make it look a bit better, but I don't always like that, so that's why I tried to make it work this way. So essentially that right area when you come into the house will be open and you will look through the beautiful roof, and besides that it will actually be very open planned. And a thing that I always tend to forget is when you place a stairs next to the outside wall of your building, the actual, like, the side trim actually disappears, and which annoys me really a lot. So I was messing with the trim, because then sometimes if you place a room, the when you have glass roofing, the room disappears but the effect stays, and sometimes the room stays and then you can't see through the glass roof. But eventually we all figured it out and it became very pretty, and I thought that moving these stairs one square to the side would actually become very weird, but as we progressed in the video it actually turns out pretty great. You will see what we're gonna do. So here I'm messing with roof, not, yeah, but here I have it and there I don't. So eventually under the glass roofs there will not be any trims. I sort of try to cut it off, and it looks a bit less romantic. It's not exactly how I wanted. Sorry, I'm really tired, but it's not how I really wanted it to look. But I think that the inside and the garden area makes up for a lot of it, because I'm so happy how that turned out, and I just need to work on my sidetrain skills. So if you're wondering why I'm that tired, because the video will go on, is that yesterday I went to a festival called Pinkpop in the Netherlands, which is one of the biggest festivals of the day, and it's like a 2-hour drive from our house, and we were there with opening. So I think we left our house at 8 a.m. and the festival was till midnight, and we even left a bit earlier, but basically we came home around 1:30. Yeah, 1:30. And then the next morning my alarm went off at, like, what was it, like a 7:15, an hour later, because regularly I would wake up at 6:15, but because my biological clock is like that, I actually, yeah, just woke up at 6:15. So that was really annoying. But yeah, life goes on. But I saw some amazing bands like Fleetwood Mac, Bring Me the Horizon, Tenacious D, The Boss Hoss, like a really lot of awesome bands, Slash, Bastille, everything. And Fleetwood Mac is the main reason why I wanted to go, because I really wanted to see them. And yeah, it wasn't a disappointment. So what I really like about the kitchen, going back to the build, is how I actually curved the breakfast area, like the counters, bars actually, around the stove, because I noticed that with these, especially with these counters, you actually have this weird knockoff triangle area, and I was like, this actually is a very pretty place to place your stove, because the stove is less big as your actual counter, so it really fitted very well. It looked really smooth, and I thought like, yeah, this is actually a bit different than regularly, and let's change it up a bit. So as you guys know, I always go for a trend around the house, and this time it's the green chairs, pops of green here and there, and yeah, basically that is the theme of the house, modern with hints of green. And I changed, don't mind that plant because that will go away. But what else do I gotta tell? Yeah, it's a very luxurious house. It only got one bedroom, like that's the loft area, and I imagine that very luxurious people will live here, and maybe they throw a party, because I threw more wine under the stairs. That's why the awkward space wasn't that awkward anymore. But we got a tiny bar, we got quite a spacious breakfast area. That's mostly how I want to call it. We don't have a dining area. That's actually excluded from the build, because I want it to be very spacious and different than regularly. So here's the one and only bathroom, with, it's really a bathtub or more jacuzzi. I think more jacuzzi like. But for the bathroom, it is very simple. I didn't decorate it that much, because sometimes you have these very luxurious bathrooms and they are just very spacious and not too much chitter chatter, not too much clutter. So I kept it at that, keeping it fairly clean. Not a lot of stuff, because you see I added 2 counters, so I imagine that actually it would be very cleaned up. And yeah, the living room is in the beautiful open area. Next with that is very non-cluttered again. Like there's a lot of walking space. So imagine if you have a party and you have a lot of standing people, a lot of standing Sims, it's actually pretty good to just have space. Like not everything needs to be utterly cluttered and going all around in and out. But in the loft area, there's actually, like, it's one big bedroom, because it's the full length of the house, I did put a computer in there. Some seating area, so if there's not enough space downstairs, you can sit upstairs, like you can be luxurious queen and chill up there. But there's a lot of possibilities with this build. And if you watch a lot of videos of me, you know that normally I would always do the exterior first, but somehow I was so occupied about how the inside must look. Like I was like, this and this and this and this needs to be done. I actually kind of forgot about the outside, and as you can see here, I was a bit struggling, like what am I gonna do with it, because I didn't want it to be too flowery. I wanted to keep it very simple and empty, but at the same time very well decorated. And I found it difficult, but I actually kept it at basically these kind of desert vibes, because to me that always feels very modern. But mostly when I look at modern builds, sometimes they tend to be not that pretty from the front, but when you come inside into the back, it can be very luxurious. And I just talked myself into it that this is that type of house. So yeah, I used the curtains of my new pack. What is it? I don't know what's called, luxury stuff. It's very bad that I don't know what it's called anymore. But I used a couple of items from there. Oh, glamour stuff, glamour. You guys, I hope you guys know what the pack I mean. But the table is from there too. The side table I will use from that. But as you can see, the bookcase is actually to the left. And it's a very spacious seating area. Again with the greens. But there isn't too much to it. Not too much extravaganza. Like, I could have put a dining table in there, like, easily, but then the living room would have shoved a little bit too much to the front, and I thought that would throw off the luxuriousness that this build is currently feeling. I was like, let's just keep it very spacious. And here you saw me going around like, am I gonna chase it up? Am I gonna do it? Yes, no, I'm not sure. But I kept it this way because I liked how the actual living room was looking. And I love the fact that I didn't put too much clutter in there. It's just so empty and so neat. And somehow I think that's actually very pretty. Not always have that perfect cluttered realistic vibe. It's just some IKEA magazine realness. So you saw that roof that was actually bothering me like heck. I'm sorry, it's just glitching out. Oh, by the way, those mirrors at the front, stunning. I never realized how pretty they actually were, and I'm gonna use those very often. But what else do we want to say? Oh yeah, the ceiling light from the entrance. I know it's I forgot to actually make a room above it, so actually floating right now. I tried to make my screenshots look as good as possible so that you won't see it. But yeah, this actually the whole downstairs area. I included some how would you say it, some additional stuffs there. And I actually forgot to put a bin in there, so I'm really sorry about that. I tend to forget that sometimes. But the downstairs area, as you can see, there's a lot of space left, and I think that suits the vibe of the build the most. And the upstairs area is actually shifted from green to red. I actually wanted to use those see-through curtains, but somehow it didn't fit the build exactly. So to match it up a bit, I went with red, and it creates this lovely, more warm vibe as a bedroom should actually be, in my opinion. The only unrealistic thing about this build is that the other side is full of glass, so if the sun comes up or down, you're always a bit by the sunlight, because you will always be waken up by it, right? So yeah, to the left of here there will be a seating area, as you see me create right now, and to the right there will be the office area. So this is actually a multifunctional loft, and as you see, it's actually so big. Like, who would actually have such a large space as a loft? I don't know a lot of lofts in real life. I think I know none, but from all the pictures and everybody who's been building them, they tend to be a tiny bit smaller, unless you of course have a very big hallway, and that's just an open space to the down floor. Like that I've seen, but not like this. So tell me what you think of this, if you like this, and how do you think this modern build turned out. Of course we're gonna go to the outside very quickly, but just if you have already some opinions about how everything looks, the color combinations, the usage of the flowers, the greens, or just the downstairs area, how do you think it turned out? So to give this build a tiny bit of character, you could see that I put the little piggy in from China, like Year of the Pig, and some scents. How's it called? It's something scents, right? Like it looks a lot like incense, and like maybe they're so rich that they're world travelers. Maybe they love going to Salvarado. I don't know. Maybe they are coming from the new pack. I don't know. But I wanted to give it a more character because actually this build is very lifeless and Sometimes I tend to say that these very modern builds are very don't have a lot of character. In terms of they have their own character, but there's not a lot of love. I don't know, I hope you guys know what I'm saying. Sometimes I feel like it's all very cold and the same, but I try to get it away a bit with the colors here and there. So yeah, the downstairs area, the outside area, the garden will include what did I put in there? A pool. Of course, for the first time ever in The Sims, I used that very huge light from Wellness Day in the pool. I never used it before. I thought like it's so specific. Why would you use that? But I thought like this is such a modern build, so like these people want it all beautiful and perfect and wow, so they just put it in because they're so extra. So we have a little seating area over there, and I think I put down one bench on the, what is it, more veranda kind of thing, but the rest is very clean. I was thinking about putting a fence around the whole house, but I think that would ruin the openness and the very prettiness of the build. But if you like it, you can always put one around it. It's not that much. And yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think of it. If you have any suggestions of other modern builds, other vibes that I need to go for, let me know. And for the upcoming videos, I have a lot of cool stuff coming up. As I mentioned before, some collabs are coming up. What else do I got? I got some house tours still coming up, very big ones. So if you have been enjoying them, you cannot wait for these to come up. And I had some cool ideas for rooms, but I'm not sure if you guys have any suggestions, because those might change up. But the collaborations, girl, you want those. So I wanted to thank everybody, by the way, for supporting me on the gallery, because I reached 3,000 downloads, and that is a huge number. So shout out to everyone who is following me on the gallery. If you don't, link is down in the description, and you can follow me on there and find, of course, this build. I hope you enjoyed this video again, and I will catch you guys Friday for the next house touring video. Bye guys, love you.